Hi, my name is Father Chris Celentano, and the question was, what role did my family play in my vocation? Well, first and foremost, I think my family really just lived their faith. It was part of who we were. It wasn't something that we just did on Sundays. It was all about living the authentic faith. But it also wasn't being fake. Like, we were real at home with the issues and problems that we struggled with, but we always turned to God, and God was always involved in our lives. So we prayed the daily rosary, we went to Mass, we were involved in altar serving, we went on pilgrimage together as family, we prayed together as a family. So if I was going to basketball practice and we hadn't said our prayers yet, I wasn't going to practice until we were finished. So faith was a serious part of our family. It was at the foundation of our family, and it's what came first in our family.
My name is Father Bill Ruel. I'm the pastor of St. Bernard's Parish in Belfield, North Dakota, and we're here to talk about how my parents and my family influenced my vocation to the priesthood. And I have to say that without the influence of my family, I wouldn't be a priest. I think it's that simple. I have a great uncle, my grandpa's brother, who was a priest. He just died a couple of years ago at the age of 92, who I always looked up to. He was like the happiest person I ever knew. And so we always had this priest around in the family to be that influence for us. My grandparents were always friends with the pastor of their parish, and so I grew up always having priests around at Grandma and Grandpa's house on the holidays, and got to know priests as normal, happy, good guys who I could look up to. My parents made the sacrifices they had to make to send me to Catholic school. I went to Catholic grade school and Catholic high school. So if you count 7 years of seminary, I have 20 years of Catholic education. And so my parents gave me that influence of just sending me to Catholic school, taking me and my brother and sister to church, and just making us grow up in a Catholic world where I always understood that being a priest is something good and normal, and something that if you were called to it, your family would be happy about it. And so even when I went through several years of being away from the church and not being sure about my faith and not knowing what path I was on, when I did finally realize that I needed Jesus in my life again, it was so easy just to go back to the Catholic Church because it was home. It was just in me, even though for a time I didn't know it. And so very shortly after going back to Mass and going back to confession, I started to realize that I might have a vocation to the priesthood. Called up the vocation director, got signed up for seminary, told my parents, I'm going to go to seminary, I think I want to be a priest. And my parents just said, yeah, we're not surprised. We're not surprised. We were just waiting for you to figure it out. And so from day one, they've always given me that support and encouragement, and they have influenced my vocation in ways that I probably still don't even realize, just by being their Catholic selves and doing their duty as parents to hand on the faith to me.
So how did my parents' marriage impact my vocation? Well, I think just having a faith-filled family and growing up with where the faith was important. A couple things for me was that my parents were very welcoming to the priests that were in my home parish. Priests were always at our house for dinner and things, and that affected me. Certainly when I eventually responded to what I thought was God calling me to be a priest, my parents were absolutely supportive and not pushing in any way, but just very prayerful, very grateful, and just always super supportive for me. So I'm very blessed and grateful of the support of my parents.